All right. Well, excellent. So, and because I know we're recording this, so it'll be available for others. Um, thank you, Ashley, for joining us. It's our first ever membership seminar. Um, so you're gonna help us test drive this, and we'll love to hear your feedback afterwards. Um, Today we're gonna talk a little bit about the member portal and some of the features that you may or may not know you have access to by signing into the member portal. Um, just a couple of housekeeping things. First, I should probably introduce myself, even though it says my name under my screen. So I'm Christine Hoyt. I'm the Director of Member Services. And with me is Hannah Elvord. And Hannah is our Member Engagement Associate. And Hannah's actually going to go through the member portal and explain how to use it, what's available there, and so forth. We do want this to be interactive. So, for right now, we're going to ask that you remain muted so Hannah can get through the content that we have prepared for you today. And then we ask that any questions you have during the presentation, you can write them in the chat, and then we'll answer them at the end. So hopefully, we'll get you the information that you came here looking for today. I think with that, Hannah, I'll turn it over to you to walk us through the member portal.
Awesome. Thank you, Christine. So Christine's correct. So the member portal, everyone who's a member of 1Berkshire has access to it. Usually during the enrollment process, you'll get an email from me that gives you the information you need to access the portal. And so I will go ahead and start what that process looks like. So when you get your login information, just to finally do your first sign in for the portal, you're going to go to our website. And on the website is the link right here in this top right corner. It says member portal, and you go ahead and just click that. And then in that, onboarding email that I send along, I send out the username that you'll use for this account as well as a temporary password. Once you're logged in, I always suggest to people to change that temporary login just because it makes everything a little bit more secure and a little bit more safe for you. So we're just going to go ahead and use this temporary login that I've created for today just to kind of show you what the portal is going to look like. So when you get your login information, it takes you to your individual profile in the member portal. So that was you as the main contact for your organization. So for this example, Robert is the main contact for a business called Brightline Solutions. And you can see that information highlighted here in the related profile section. Now, in this part of the portal, you're able to edit this information just like you would for your organization's profile. However, it won't change any information on the organization itself. To do that, you'll have to go to this left-hand corner for this little switch profile button. If you're listed as the main contact for a business that joins 1Berkshire, you'll have this little toggle here. So right now it's highlighted on the individual, the main contact for that organization. And you can switch to the organization's profile, which is the business listing. And I'll just do that here. So now I've transitioned to Brightline Solutions member profile. And some things change. So like the name change, you see the company logo, the company information, etc. Um, so that's kind of the difference between what an individual profile is and an organization profile, because any changes you make to the individual profile won't affect your business unless you make that change. And now how to edit this profile, you'll just go to this little button here. And here you can make any changes to the business listing. So say you've moved addresses and you need to update that information with us. You can do that right from here. Any contact information or website changes that need to be made, you could edit those here, as well as update any information. If you get more employees than are listed, you can change that information. If you have more part-time employees and you want that listed just for us as information, you can make those changes here. Additionally, if you have any additional addresses, usually we suggest if there's a different mailing address than the business address that you'd like our content to go towards, you can add that there. Same with any additional phones or emails that need to be added for for the profile. Um, Social media as well. If you had started a new Facebook or Instagram, you can click this button and scroll through and add any links that you'd like to this profile, along with additional information. So what this tab is asking for is affiliation codes. Now, an affiliation code basically just means that when people search our directory, they are typing in American cuisine or Chinese food. Just things that they'll pull from your profile that'll populate your business in the search engine. So if you're a business that's pet friendly, you have a restaurant on site, swimming's available, you can make these selections. And so when people search our directory, your business will pop up for those things, as well as it searches for demographic. For this example, we have highlighted that this business is BIPOC owned and women owned. Um, and if it's handicap accessible, has a picnic area, or reservations are required. You can change all of these affiliation codes whenever you'd like in the portal. I will say that once you made all your changes and you want to save, and then you have, say, a another window open where you're trying to make sure that on our website the listing updates and you don't see those updates right away, that's not a glitch. It's basically just saying that once you save these changes that get made, and a notification goes to our team to approve those changes. And that's a measure only for if people are typing things out and they might miss a semicolon in their website or there's a spelling error. We just kind of double check those things before uploading it to our site. So it usually takes within 24 hours for things to get changed on the listing side of things. But that's how you edit your profile. Additionally, on this member homepage, you can see any open invoices that you have for that organization, and you can pay it right online. So for this example, Brightline Solutions has a $200 invoice that is overdue. So to pay that, they would just click this button and it takes them to list all of their open invoices if they had more than one. In this example, their core membership renewal for membership dues is listed as the only open invoice. So they would just select it and then go through the process to pay for that invoice. This you might see if you take out advertising with us, any invoices on that side of things. But normally this is how you would pay your membership dues, is through that button there. So you can always see if you're overdue on something or if you're all paid up. Additionally, I'm just scrolling down through this member homepage. You can see that the My Events is listed here. Currently, what that is, it's basically if you're registered for an event with us, those will populate here. And I believe I have that in the individual profile. Yeah. So Robert has signed up for our 1 Berkshire Entrepreneurial Meetup, and that's listed with the date and the information for that event. Additionally, on that same line, you can upload any logos or images that you'd like us to have in our database, just to kind of have on file in case there's a social media post that you want to go out for your business. We can just pull from your profile and make that post right away. So we don't have to kind of, wait for that email from you. You can just automatically upload all your images that you'd like us to use, and then we can pull them right from there. Um, Down here is our benefits. So as a member, one of your member benefits is you have, 1B social event ticket usage. And this is just kind of going to list your entire host of all of your benefits whether or not it's been used, whether or not you might have some left. Like, for example, a consultation. In this example, it has not been used yet. Um, but if you do an economic development consultation with us, that will be highlighted as being used. This is just to give you a snapshot of what the benefits you have as members. It lists the dollar value here. That is not an additional cost. That's just to show you how much you would be paying if you were to use this for a different organization. That's just the value there. So you always have access. And if you ever have questions about these benefits, you can always, reach out to me or Christine, and we are more than happy to help you get that done or get more information on that. Speaking of benefits, I'm going to go back up here to the Member Resources tab. This is a tab where you can basically access a lot of our digital benefits. So if you want to post a social media post with us, you can fill out our request form. If you would like to post an event, you can fill out our event form, and that can get put on our calendar, as well as all of our other online benefits you can access right through the portal. Um, so that is that. And I think I might move on to one of the member benefits, which is registering for an event. So if I want to go to the next upcoming 1Berkshire event or an event that's on our calendar, I would go to this events page and just click view all events, which takes us to our Berkshire's Business and Community Events calendar. This is where all of events are posted for members. This is a member-only benefit that only members can post with us. And you have a event type. So I want to register for a 1Berkshire event. I would select this button, and then that would highlight all of the 1Berkshire events that are within this month. So there's a 1B Social coming up next week. I would select this, and I would register for this event. Now, because I'm signed into the portal, it automatically fills in my information. So again, like in the member homepage, you'll see this, "Hi, Robert, you are viewing your personal profile." That tells me that I'm logged in, and it filled in all of my information. It put in my organization's name, my first and last name, my contact information, and all of the necessary information I need to register for this event. So I would continue, and I only need one ticket for this event. And because it's a 1Berkshire member only event, it's free. And I would select one ticket for that. I would continue on for my attendees. This section is if you had more than one individual registering for an event. So if I had two people registered, it would ask for my information, which it has here, and then the information of my guest. But because I'm signed in, it has my account information, so I don't need to worry about inputting any of that. So I go to continue, and because it's a free event, there's no payment that is required for it. So you just fill out this and then submit registration. We have a little wheel here, and that's fine. Um, and then it says I've registered for my event, and I would get an email to that email that I have for my account saying that I registered. And this is just kind of the receipt that you'd receive. Um, but that is a little bit of a snapshot of how you can utilize the member portal. And like I said, there's different member resources here that you're more than welcome to peruse around. But I will stop and kind of see if there's any questions that we've got.
And I know we have somebody who just joined us. So we just went through the member portal um, and all of the ways that somebody can access information in our member portal and register for events and so forth. And Ashley, thank you so much for that feedback, that this has been helpful. But are there some specific questions about the member portal and the information that we reviewed, and we will have this recording available after the fact, because if you are somebody who learns like I do, that sometimes I have to see it a couple of times, we wanted to make sure that we had this available for folks. We also understand that work meetings and scheduling this in the middle of the day can sometimes be difficult. So, we're definitely available to answer some questions at any time or set up a one-on-one. And I do hope that both of you are registered for next week's 1B social. We have a question. It looks like it's about the jobs portal.
That job.
So the jobs thing is a member benefit in which members get member rate to post a job. So the member rate is $100 to post the job for 4 weeks at a time. The non-member rate is $200.
hmm And
We hope
yes,
that you're using that benefit.
yes, yeah. And that does show on the portal, like I had mentioned in I'll just go back to that profile just to show you. Jobs things posts. So it says you have 6 benefits that you're able to use. If you have more than that, you are most certainly welcome to post with us on the jobs portal. But for this profile specifically, they haven't used any jobs things posts. So if you were to reach out to our team and get one of those posts uploaded, that you would see that fill in here. So that is a member benefit for all members.
And we use that section to just track what members are using. So although it says 0 of 6 for that particular thing, if you did have, like as Hannah said, like 12 jobs that you're posting with us, you're able to post all of those jobs. It is at the member rate each time.
Mhm.
But our system doesn't let us have like infinite
Yeah.
like numbers. So we had to put a number in there in order to track it.
hmm
I'm so sure this is in the recording. I'm sorry I missed it, but so you're just saying just for any of the posts or any of those benefits, you just reach out directly, I guess, was it email?
Yes, yeah, you reach out via email. So that is just kind of a snapshot of what benefits you receive for that like level of membership. So for us, we have the core and enhanced levels, and those have different member benefits that you could utilize. So if you saw the jobs thing post or you saw one of those that you want to trigger and use, that would mean you just reach out to us via email, either myself or Christine, or the info@1berkshire.com to ask a question about how do I utilize this member benefit, and then we would then walk you through the steps of how to get that done.
Thank you.
Mhm. But while you're in the portal, there are some digital member benefits that you do have access to, like for social media posts, if you want us to post something on your behalf on our social channels. There's that form that's right in the member resources tab, as well as if you want to rent out our meeting room spaces, we have event spaces here in the Pittsfield office. And those are available for members at a member rate to rent those out and use as they need. That form is also in that resources tab, as well as other online benefits that you can just kind of fill out those forms and get that to our team.
Um, so I have a question for those online. Um, have you signed into the member portal before, or have you been using it as of yet.
I have signed in and attempted to edit my profile, and that's about clicked around. That's about it.
Okay, excellent. I love that. Okay, good. Well, I'm glad that you both have signed in. So
Mm-hmm.
that's step one. That's amazing.
Yep.
And then like seriously, the poke around in there. Um, and if you wanted to, I know Hannah went through like how to switch from an individual profile to an organization profile. So I want to make sure it's clear that like when you sign in, it is an individual profile. And then to go to your organization profile, you do have to switch to that. But every time you sign in, it is going to, you're going to come in as an individual.
Hmm.
So if you are trying to edit your organization's profile, you'll want to make sure that you are switched over to the organization.
Hmm. But
Are there any other like burning questions that we can help with today?
No, I just kind of wanted to see what there was. I know I was a little late to game, so I'll definitely watch the
That's
recording.
hmm.
that's okay.
But
We
yeah, no, I
can,
appreciate it. Thank you.
yeah, you're very welcome. Happy to do that. And again, we're happy to set up something one-on-one if there are um, additional questions as you're poking around into the portal and you find some of the different benefits that we do offer and how to access those. Feel free to reach out to Hannah or myself.
Hmm.
But
Well,
and
oh, go
thank
ahead.
you.
Yep.
I'm going to say a huge thank you to Hannah. So this is the first time that we have um, done a membership seminar. We'll have some other topics, later in the year. But I thought Hannah did a fantastic job with our first time out of the gate. So thank you. And if you have feedback, please share it with us. And if there are other topics you'd love for us to cover, let us know, and we'll get some more seminars scheduled.
Thanks
Awesome.
so much.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
and we hope to see you next Wednesday. It should be a great 1B social.
Hmm.